Hello, welcome back to my garden. It's the end of April, the very last day of April, and I wanted to make sure that I documented everything with what's happening in the garden. And the honest truth is you're gonna see a lot of empty beds. I'm in the process of switching over to our summer crops, and some of my beds just have had some issues with root knot nematodes, so I'm waiting for some cover crops to come in, but I'll kind of go over that when we get to that section. So as we always start, I'm gonna start with my little pineapple, and I'm so proud that my little baby pineapple has finally sprouted. So I can't wait to try this little baby pineapple. I planted it in November 2022. So I'm just excited that it finally bloomed. So over here, I know I usually don't spend a lot of time talking about this, but I recently got, maybe 3 or 4 months ago, these two orchids here at an orchid show. And I'm so excited to see that a flower stalk is actually coming up right here. So I'm hoping that my squirrels don't jump on them and knock it off. So just ignore the zip ties. I still have to put some moss or something to make it look nice. But down here, I'm actually re-looking at this planting bed. But for now, I have a few dahlias that I planted from tubers, and they're actually doing quite well. I just recently topped them off, and you'll see that they're sprouting on either end. So a few of them have sprouted up. 3 out of the 5 that I've planted so far are there. So that'll be a new thing that I'm trying this year. So let me just go back slowly so you don't get all tizzy on me. But we'll just go back to this section over here. We do have some of my celery just wrapping up on the season. I'm going to be harvesting most of those. We've been munching on some of those. Over here, my irises continue to bloom. Such an exciting thing. I didn't even know that the plants I bought were going to bloom. That's what a newbie I am to planting. But that's been a really cool thing. I actually have back here a Simbac jasmine, I think it was called, and that's about to bloom. And my helicornias, those claws are just starting to pop out, which has been really cool to watch them come out. I've had that helicornia plant for a year and a couple months, so it took it just about a year to get established, but she's doing really well. So then just looking over here, this is my bed that I have some onions and some strawberries. I haven't really been doing well with any of the onions in the garden, so I'll probably be harvesting those sometime soon. It's looking very messy. I just recently got this Dominican oregano. Smells really nice. And then over here is my rosemary bush, some other plants. I planted a few Shasta daisies here. I know I'll have to separate them, but for now, just wanted those I started from seed, and I just needed a place to up-pop them. My mom loved daisies, so I doing those more in her honor. And then just here, my bleeding heart is doing really well over my little shed where I keep all my potting stuff. But the blooms are just so pretty on these. The hummingbirds, the butterflies, they're always all over it. And then just panning back to see the whole garden. So this first bed here is where I had actually 8 tomato plants, and I've had some issues with root knot nematodes here. So I ordered some cover crop. I think it's like some sun hemp and stuff from Urban Harvest. So I'm gonna plant this whole bed up. So little by little, I've been removing some of the herbs and stuff that are there. I do have a few sunflowers that are trying to come up. So I won't kill those, but I'll let those bloom, and then I'll just start planting on either side of this as soon as those seeds come in. I do have one tomato plant that survived. It's a Roma San Marzano, which is doing pretty good. I posted this just the other day, and we have like a few of tomatoes here, so I'm proud of her. She's the only one that survived from this bed. This other bed here, I had a bunch of brassicas and stuff, so those I removed. And I just recently planted some Thai soldier beans. You'll see there's like a little tag on there. I planted it for each of the corners of the trellis. So I just put some seeds in the ground. Let's see how those do. I did that this weekend. Over here, my mojito, mint is doing well, oregano. And over here, actually, this chocolate mint has been one of my favorite things to make tea with. I've made it both with dried leaves and the natural leaves, and that has been really yummy. This is another bed that I've had issues with root knot nematodes. I had some cucumbers that grew like halfway up a trellis, and they all died. So in this bed, what I've done is grew some marigolds, French marigolds, and I chopped them and like mixed them into the soil. And I'm also going to put a cover crop here. I have one last kale here, but this bed also had brassicas in it. It had like 2 cauliflowers and a broccoli and a few other brassicas. So switching that one over. This one had garlic and onion, and you'll see over there in that corner, really I didn't get much of a harvest. What I planted in this bed is an actual sweet potato slip right here in the middle. And then I'll probably put a few more over here on this side. I left the elephant garlic in, but just today I was pulling it out, and you could tell really not much grew out of these. So I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do in terms of growing garlic and onions. These are a little bit thicker. But yeah, let me look. Like this one, if I just pulled it out, see, not much bulbs up there. So gotta figure out what I'm gonna do. This was kind of cool. It was a volunteer mustard. I had mustard in this bed last year, so it's actually really pretty. And then over here I have my my peppers. They actually are doing pretty decent here, these 6. So I think I'm gonna keep trying to keep these in there. I'll just cut them down and try to keep them cool in the summer. And my kale is actually doing great. This one has been really good. Look how tall it is. So I've heard that you can keep kale in South Florida year round. So I'm gonna try to just keep harvesting from the bottom of it. But yeah, this one's really pretty. And this bed, I just recently planted some okra, and we just have some random peppers and stuff. We had a little bit of rain today, so a little bit less than 1 inch. These are my last tomato plants that are, doing okay. It's the problem here in South Florida. It starts getting really hot. And although we'll get flowers, we won't get a lot of actual fruit. We have a few fruit on this one. I did plant an Everglades tomato, so they say that one does really well year round here. So we'll see how that does. So in this bed here, I have a dying tomato there, but I actually had a harvest of potatoes that I'll make sure that I post an update on my Instagram. But actually, I thought the potatoes did okay. So I just removed all that there, and I put in 2 roselle seeds. I have this cranberry hibiscus, which I grew last year. I'll show you now where I have that one. This is my longevity spinach, which is actually doing really great. I still harvest these and you can eat them. They're like a little bit of a thicker spinach. And this is my Dilo plant that I have. This same plant here, the hibiscus, I'll show it to you over here. I've actually kept it kind of big. It looks a little bit like a maple. But you could still harvest these leaves. They taste like cranberry. Put them in salads and stuff. It's my papaya. My fig tree actually just had a couple leaves come out. Looks like something was eating it. But it was good to see that some of the leaves came out because it's been just a stick for a while. And then my butterfly pea flower is doing really good. She's actually taken over this poor orchid. But these flowers are just so pretty. So I've never made tea with these, but apparently you just take these leaves and dry them and you can make tea and such. So maybe I'll try that sometime soon. My banana tree. So I actually relocated my 2 green stalks. I used to have these on the other side of the house, but it was really hard to keep track of watering them. My hose system there is not that good. So I moved it over here, and so this one has strawberries. They're doing okay. I've gotten a few strawberries out of this one. And then this one over here, what I did was in that one bed where I'm going to plant the cover crop, I took out all of these herbs. So they're doing so-so. I'm not sure how they're gonna survive here. You know, like this parsley, for example, was really doing really good there. So let's see. I might just cut it down just to help it transition a little bit better. And then I did seed this weekend some beans in these pockets. So not a lot to show, but some effort there. This is just my potting bench. And then just finally my Cuban oregano, really putting on a big show here. She's doing really well. So yeah, that's a quick glimpse of the garden. Not a lot to show this time of year, but just getting ready to transition to a new season over here. So I hope you all enjoyed this quick tour, and we'll see you soon.